Good day everyone, this is the video presentation of Block 3 in FS3 Learning episode number 3. Our topic is about understanding action research concepts, processes, and models. This lesson was focused on understanding action research concepts, processes, and models. It provides the questions and answers that everyone needs to know, like why action research is useful to teach a researcher, what type of class of action studies that can engage in, and present the core characteristics of action research. It will show the models and guide in conducting action research. These models include the McNiff and Whitehead 2006 model, Nelson 2014 model, and Department of Education DO16 2017 model, and it will also show the action research cycle. So at the end of this lesson, you will be able to use concepts and processes of action research and identify sample models of AR such as of DepEd 2017, McNiff and Whitehead 2006, and Nelson 2014. So, before we proceed to our discussions, let's check your prior knowledge about the topic. So, first, number 1, it is used to address practical problems in the classroom. What is it? So, it is an action research. Number 3, it is a guide in conducting action research in identifying the problem. It is a guide in conducting action research in identifying the problem. So it is observe or observation. Number 3, it continues all throughout the process. It continues all throughout the process. It is reflect or reflection. Number 4, it is an action research strategy. What kind of guide in conducting action research is it? Well, it is an action research strategy. So it is the planning or plan in doing or conducting an action research. Number 5, it takes an action. It takes an action. It's an act. Now, let's proceed to our discussion. What is action research? Action research is a form of self-reflective inquiry that can be utilized by teachers in order to improve the rationality and justice of, first, their own practices, second, their understanding of these practices, and third, the situations in which these practices are carried out, that is according to Carr and Cummins 2012. So another term or another definition of action research is, action research is a comparative research on the conditions and effects of various forms of social action and research leading to social action. So that is according to Demarco 2012. So the definition of action research evolved over time, so meaning there is no singular definition of action research. So anchored on the idea of inquiry by John Dewey, several other authors have advanced the concept of action research. So action research is a type of inquiry that is practical as it involves making changes to practice, and theoretical as it is informed by theory and can generate new insights. And third, concerned with change and improvement. So action research has been embraced in education for its value in transforming school practices by the practitioners themselves. It is used to address practical problems in the classroom, and it is a process that allows teachers to study their own classroom and school setting to improve their effectiveness. So, teacher action research or TAR is a method for educational practitioners, teachers, school leaders, or the principal to engage in the assessment and improvement of their own practice. It is a tool to help classroom teachers consider their teaching methods or to adapt a strategy in order to solve everyday problem in the school setting. So, here are some questions and answers that you need to know. Number 1, what are the core characteristics of AR or action research according to Teacher 2015? So the first core characteristic of action research is systematic. Systematic because it's like any other form of research, it follows a system. Then second, rigorous. It has rigor, meaning a strict adherence to the rules of empirical studies. Third, reflective. It follows a continuous reflection and action. And another is situational. It is optional because it is more specific to the location or the school circumstances, teaching and learning, or etc. Another is participative. AR can be participative where teachers and learners are co-researchers, so meaning the teachers and the learners are both researchers. The last one is the future-oriented. Yes, it is future-oriented because it seeks solution to the current problem of future improvement. So the second question that you need to know in conducting an action research is, why is action research useful to me as a teacher researcher? So, as a teacher researcher, AR or action research is useful to me because AR can help me to learn how to improve my practice as a teacher in terms of teaching methods, classroom management, preparation of the learning environment, and developing instructional material assessment. And AR can help me learn more about a wider range of research methods that I can use in the future. And AR can provide me more space to think deeply about the issues that confront teaching and learning. AR can help me engage with my mentor and peers to enable me to improve my teaching practices through action research. And the last one is AR or the action research can help me to develop new knowledge which is directly related to my area of specialization. The third question that we need to consider in conducting an action research is, what type of classroom action research studies that I can engage in? So first is creating changes in the classroom practice. So creating changes in the classroom practice. Example, what changes will daily writing on my students? The second is establishing effects of curriculum restructuring. Example, will the use of mother tongue enhance the reading skills of my learners? So the third is enhancing new understanding of learners. Example, what happens when students get motivated? And the last one is teaching any processes or process the students. Example, how can I teach third grade to do reflection? The next discussion is about models and guide in conducting action research and to be delivered by next report.
So let me give you the models and guide in conducting action research. So we have here the models of McNiff in Whitehead 2006. So it has an action research cycle which include observe, reflect, plan, act, evaluate, and modify. So the first one is to observe. So observe is used to identify the problem. It answers the following questions given below. So the first question is, based on observation and noticing, what problematic situation prevail in the classroom? Second, which of these problems shall I focus on? And third, what does literature say about this problem? On what theories or principles I learned before is the problem avoided. Next is reflect. So reflect is about the reflection that continues all throughout the process. It answers the following questions given below. So the first question is, what do I hope to achieve and what do I intend to change for better? Second, is doing this action research important to improve my practice? And third, can I do this alone or should I collaborate? Next is plan. So plan is an action research strategy. So it answers the following questions given below. The first question is, what type of action research will I use? Is it qualitative or quantitative? Second, how will I describe my innovation, intervention, and strategy? And lastly, is my plan doable within the given period of time? Next is act. So act is to take action. So it answers the questions such as, number 1, how do I put my plan into action and how long? Second, how will I gather data or information? And third, what sense or meaning do I get out of the data? Next is evaluate. So evaluate uses findings. So it answers the following questions given, such as, where do I apply results to improve practice, and are my findings worth sharing? Lastly is the modify. So modify is about to move to another cycle. So it answers the questions such as, is there a need to modify intervention to get new results? And should I move to another cycle of action research? So we have here the next model. So this model is according to Nelson O, which is the Nelson O 2014 model. So it has the observe, reflect, plan, and act. So observe is used to identify the problem. So it has the following questions that needs to be answered. So the first question is, based on observation and noticing, what problematic situations prevail in the classroom or teaching learning environment? Second, which of these problems shall I focus on? And third, what does literature say about this problem? On what theories or principles I learned before is the problem anchored? Next is reflect. So reflect is the reflection that continues all throughout the process. So it answers the following questions such as, what do I hope to achieve? What do I need to change for better? Second, is doing this action research important to improve my practice? And third, can I do this alone or should I collaborate? Next is plan. So plan is an action research strategy, and it answers the following questions such as, number 1, what type of action research will I use? Is it qualitative or quantitative? Second, how will I describe my innovation, my intervention, and strategy? Third, is my plan doable within the given period of time? And lastly is act. So act is to take action. So it answers the questions such as, how do I put my plan into action and how long? Second, how will I gather data or information? And lastly, what sense or meaning do I get out of the data? The next model we have here is the Department of Education, the DO16 2017 model. So it has an action research key components. It includes the number 1, context and rationale, and number 2, action research questions. So this 2 is about identifying the problem. So it answers the following questions given below. So the number 1 question is, why am I doing this? Second, what is the background of my action research? Third, what problem or questions am I trying to solve? And 4, what do I hope to achieve? The third one is the proposed innovation, intervention, and strategy. So it is all about the proposed plan. It answers the following questions such as, what do I plan as a solution in the problem I identified? Second, what innovation will I introduce to solve the problem? And third, what strategy should I introduce? So take note, and the proposed innovation, intervention, and strategy, you have to describe your answer in the questions given. So next is the action research methods. So it has the letter A, which is the participants and or other sources of data and information. Letter B, data gathering methods. And letter C, data analysis plan. So this is the plan of action research. It answers the following questions such as, number 1, who are to participate? So is it my students, peers, or myself? Second, what are my sources of information? Third, how shall I gather information? And lastly, how will I analyze my data and information? Next is the action research work plan and timeline. So it is an action research work plan. So it answers the following questions such as, what should my work plan contains? Second, how long will I conduct my intervention? So for reliable results, it is 8 to 12 weeks. So next is the cost estimates. So the cost estimates is the action research cost. You have to consider also the maximum cost if externally funded like DepEd, LGUs, NGO, or personnel. Next is the plans for dissemination and utilization. So in this part, it is about sharing results. So it answers the questions such as, how will I share the results of my action research? Publish, present, flyers, or LAC sessions. And second, can I collaborate with other teachers to continue or replicate my study? So the last one is the references. So in the references, you have to answer the question here, and it is about what reading materials and references are included in my review of literature. So we have here this Figure 1, the action research reflection cycle according to McNiff and Whitehead 2006. So action research is a dynamic process anchored on reflection, action cycle of observing, reflecting, acting, evaluating, and modifying. So according to McNiff and Whitehead 2006, action research is a cyclical recursive process of observe, reflect, act, evaluate, modify, move in new direction. Is known as an action reflection. Next here, so in 2011, McNiff defined action research as a form of inquiry that enables practitioners to investigate and evaluate their work. Before that, Corey in 1953 viewed action research as a recursive or repeated process proceeding through a spiraling cycle of planning, actions, reflections, and change. So here is the action research cycle according to Nelson O 2014. So this cycle, in a similar vein, Nelson O 2014 proposed action research cycle that starts with observe, followed by reflect, plan, and act, which can also go through evaluation and modification. So it also follows a cyclical process. That's all for today's discussion. Thank you for watching.